in a diaper, put it in a bag, tie it up just like you would do a baby's dirty diaper. Tie it up, and at that point, I will take the water and flush the toilet with the water. But now me, I'm an OG. I ain't new to this, baby. I'm true to this. I tell y'all all the time, I grew up on Good Times. I was Thelma, my older brother was JJ, and my youngest brother was Michael. We grew up on Good Times. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ivy and this channel is Boo Bougie. Girl, today we gonna get into this video. Y'all seen the title, but first, y'all know how I like to open my vlogs. So if you're new to my channel and you were just channel surfing, girl, go ahead and push the button. Ma'am, I like to say to you, hey boo. Here I am, arms wide open. And if you're a returning subscribers, my girls, my boos, hey boo. There's a miracle in this room with my name on it. There's a breakthrough, it's got my name on it. So, girl, look at this cup. Isn't this cute? I got this for Mother's Day this year. My church was giving out gifts to all the mothers, and this was a gift. This is actually my first time using it with y'all. Yeah, so I did a video the other day, yesterday, as a matter of fact. So the video, I had already did the video and it was just sitting up on YouTube, and I was really contemplating, you know, whether I was going to show it or not, because so many times people can be, what's the word I want to use? They could be mean, for a lack of a better phrase, but all my girls got it. All my girls understood it. They understood that life is life, and sometimes we go through, sometimes there is some peaks in the valley. You know what I'm saying? It's peaks and it's valleys, but sometimes you in the valley. Like you low, looking up, like, you know, looking to the hills from which cometh your help. Like your help come from the Lord, right? So I got a lot of positive feedback for that video. I didn't even get anything negative, I don't think. I don't think. As a matter of fact, I didn't. So I said if y'all wanted me to do a part 2, I will do a part 2, how I lived in a house with no water. Now, I literally, let me show y'all. Y'all see my gas is on? You see my gas is on? Girl, y'all know I'm silly, but yeah, so that video was the video I had made while my gas was off, right? So I was washing dishes and I was saying, you know, let me video this. And then after I did it and I put it on YouTube and I just made it private, I'm like, do I really want to show that? And God let me know, yeah, you want to show that. I need you to show everything, because you need to let people know, like, when things ain't working out, when things are not uniform, when things are not favorable, like I'm still there. Yeah, you need to show that video. So in the interim of it all, I think I want to make that iced coffee. Because right now it's coffee. And I already had, now this is some big girl stuff. I'm sitting right here leaning on the freezer door. Girl, bye. Give me a minute.
This day that God has given me, I'm not gonna waste this joy deep down inside me. I'm not gonna shake. Been stressed for so long, so stuck in my own way. So I'ma enjoy this moment. It's the day that the Lord has made.
All right, girl, y'all see I got on my onesie. Girl, bye. You can't tell me nothing. Pajamas all day, written in pink and in cursive. Girl, I got this from my store. I got a video that's coming out. I got this from my store. You get 10 pieces for $12. Y'all know I done told y'all. I'm going to put y'all on, and make sure y'all check out Bargains and Beyond. Lauren's aunt, she has a store, Bargains and Beyond. If you have not seen my video, it's Country Living. I'll put a picture in. Y'all go and support. It's right here in Hampton. The prices are affordable. She has new stuff, used stuff. So yeah, y'all go check her out. Bargains and Beyond, right here in Hampton. It's off of Terra Boulevard. So, yeah, I already had a coffee this morning when I got KK. So, anyways, let's get into this video. So, I'm showing y'all, like, this is my life. And, you know, I show really pretty much every aspect, a clip it or two of my life. You know, of course, y'all don't walk around with me all day. But, speaking of that, I'm gonna get into the video. Speaking of that, I got the washing machine, and the washing machine is like a sensory timer kind of washing machine, and I'm pushing a button and the water is not coming on. So I'm gonna get the guy either next door or across the street to look at it, because I was chatting with the guy last night and he said he literally just used it, and I said, I really and honestly, sincerely believe that the washing machine worked. It's something I'm not doing right. So I'm gonna get one of them to look at it. Anyways, girl, so let's get into this video. How I lived in a house for 2 months, with no water, none, not a drop coming out the kitchen sink, bathroom sink, the toilets wasn't flushing, like no water, right? So it was a time I was in my early 30s and I owned my house, because in Buffalo, you don't have to pay. Well, if you own the house, you have to pay for the water. But as a renter, you don't have to pay for the water. It might have changed. Now, I ain't been there in 16 years, so it might have changed by now. But when I moved to Georgia, it was like, okay, your water fee is going to be, and I never knew they charged you for water. Girl, I got a Landa Madeline video playing in the back, and her music is loud. Hold on. All right. I don't know if y'all could hear it, but I could hear it. And I was like, ma'am. So, yeah. So anyway, you know, I'm young. I think I may have been 33, 34, somewhere in there. And I remember falling on hard times and didn't have the money to pay my water bill. It might have been a thing as to where pay the water bill, pay the light bill, pay the water bill, pay the gas bill. And it wasn't like I was really negotiating it in my mind like that. It was, I literally didn't have the money. The bill got up to, and I hate when people say, oh, they let my bill get to such and such before they cut it off. Ma'am, you knew all along you had a bill. So whether they turned your stuff off or not, you, Irene, knew you had a bill. So my bill had got up to almost $3,000, and finally they turned it off. So while I'm living in this house with this young man, he was like 10 years younger than me. So while I'm living with him, it's me, him, and my daughter, and Courtney. Ooh, Courtney was a teenager. Courtney is 39 now, so that tell you how far back it was, right? So anyway, I'm living in this house. The water gets shut off, and I remember that day. I can't remember who said it, but I remember the day itself, you know, and just like, oh my God, my water is off. Like, I knew eventually you don't pay your bill, they're going to shut your services off, your utilities, right? So I knew at some point that it would get cut off. I was just trying to go to different agencies, and, you know, they were helping people who rented, but I couldn't really get any help for a homeowner. So Anyway, they turn the water on. Now, my friend Sherelle is living across the street. She don't care if I say her name. My friend Sherelle is living across the street. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, when things in life happen, and somebody commented on it too, they like, I forgot what term they use, but my mama used to say it all the time. Make do. That's what the term V, and I think V said that. Make do, right? So, okay. I know the water's getting turned off. When, I don't know. You know, it's like when they come to set your stuff out, you go to court so you know when they're going to set your stuff out. With the water, they give you a date, but it could be on that date, it could be the next day. Like, they tell you they're gonna turn your water off on the 1st, and it's the 3rd, and you like, yes, they ain't turned my water off. They forgot about me. And then the 4th, your water is off. You know, so anyway, my friend Sherelle is living like directly across the street, but the next house. So we're like literally right there, right? So I called my girl after I realized the water was off. I said, okay, you can't panic. You can't panic. You got a daughter, and I had a man. Anyways, y'all stay focused. Girl, mother went right into, girl, look, I went into protect and provide mode. You understand what I'm saying? I went to the store. I got a pack of, I'm just going to tell y'all now, this is story time. It's going to be a real story time. It ain't going to be no cute story time. You understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell you, like, how I literally, me and my family survived in a house with no running water, right? So, now all the while, I'm working, he's working, we trying to put our money together. It just is what it is. When you're young and you dumb, you don't always make the best decisions, right? We probably were smoking weed and drinking and could have had some money saved and whatever, right? The point is the water's off, right? So, anyway, I go to the store. I get a pack of diapers. Now, y'all got to stay with me. I go to the store, I get a pack of diapers. And as a matter of fact, where did I go? I think I went to Dollar General. That was like the closest one to me. I was like on the Buffalo and Cheektowaga border. I was right there, and it was a Dollar General right there. So I went to Dollar General. I got a pack of diapers. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what I'm using all this stuff for. Y'all just got to stay with me. Pack of diapers, a pack of gloves, toilet paper, paper towel, hella bleach. Hella bleach. Because, see, I know what go down. I'm already a bleach girl, but with no running water in the house, yeah, I was going to need some bleach. And I think I might have brought, I didn't buy 10, but I knew I brought probably like 5 or 6 things of bleach. So get the bleach, paper towels, get everything that I need, right? I end up buying another bucket so that way I could have because I had a 2-story house. I had a bathroom downstairs and I had a bathroom upstairs. So I wanted a bucket in both spaces, right? So get home. Now I called my girlfriend. I said, Sherelle. Now, I still cuss, ladies. I'm working on it. You know, God is still working on me, right? And so I called my friend, and I'm like, beep, my water is off. Girl, could you believe they turned my water off? She was like, for real? She was like, what black folks say? What you gonna do? I said, I don't know yet. I can't think about that right now. I don't have the money to turn it on right now. And they were willing to work with me, put half down. I needed to put $1,500 down. So I needed to come up with $1,500 before they would even consider turning my water back on, right? And I didn't have it. So Sherelle said, you could come and get some water from my house. Okay, cool. So now, initially, I did buy some jugs of water so I would have the actual jug where I could cart back and forth from her house. Now, in the meantime, in between time, her landlord, which lives upstairs and Sherelle lived downstairs, her landlord didn't like me. Now, I was young and fine, and you know how that go. Her man liked me, and she knew her man liked me. So I'm getting water from Sherelle's house. She see me going back to my house. Because like I said, we lived across the street like catty corner, right? She was like the house across the street from me, right next to that house. That was her house. So we're right there, right? So she see me with the water. So she come downstairs and she was like, what you doing? And I said, minding my business. You know, I'm young. I always had a mouth. Always had a mouth. So she said, you can't be taking water from my house. I said, I'm not taking water from your house. I'm taking water from Sherelle's house, right? So she was like, well, this is my house and I pay the bill. I said, well, long as Sherelle stay here, I'm going to come and get some water. So anyway, that was that. Like, man, I don't want your man. I already got a man. I can't help that your man find me attractive. I can't help that. Look, your man ain't kick in. Your man ain't say, here you go, let me help you out. So, sir, and I already got a man. So anyway, now, let's get to the cleaning part. So in the video yesterday, you seen I had a crock pot. All you got to do, and I think at this time, it wasn't that I had a crock pot. I had a burner, a 2-stove burner. So that's what I cooked on. And as a matter of fact, I had to go buy that because I didn't have it. Why would I need it? I had a stove. So I went and brought that. So that's how I would boil my water. Y'all seen how I wash the dishes. So that's how I would wash the dishes. So let's get into some other stuff, right? So I'm just gonna kind of break it up, not different videos, just in the same video. How we wash, how I clean the bathrooms, how I flush the toilets, right? So how we would wash, when Courtney would get up in the morning, before she would even get up, I would get up. Because now I know I gotta take this extra step so my baby could be all right, cool in the game, right? So maybe, I'm going to say maybe twice a week. It might have been 3 times a week, but I know definite twice a week. I boiled the water and just kept boiling like 2 big pots on the thing. And then I would boil 2 more big pots. And then she would take like a bird bath, but it would be in the tub with the water, right? So she did that a couple times a week. Like I said, maybe 3. But on the other days, the off days, I would boil the water, put a bowl of water, like make it warm, hot as it could be, but warm. And then another one, same way, right? Take the water in so that way she could wash with one, she could rinse with the other, you know, hit the hot spot. Because when you ain't got no water, ma'am, I don't know about you, but I'm not boiling no water all day, every day to take no bath. I'm just not doing it. I did not do it, right? So you hit the hot spots. You hit up under the arm, up under your breast, wash your face, do a little ear, you know, hit your hoo-ha, hit your boom-boom, and that's it. Now, your feet, you might have to baby wipe those, right? So I made sure I got baby wipes. On the off days that maybe you just want to wipe off, right? So that's how I did that for Courtney, and that applied to me and it applied to my boyfriend. Now, we did go take showers and baths at other places. Like we went to my mom's house to take a shower. He went to his family house. He had his sisters there, so he went to his sister. He didn't really want to go to my mom's house and take a shower, but he went to his sister's house to take a shower. Went to his homeboys to take a shower. We just kind of made it work, right? So that's how we did the bath in my house. Brush the teeth, same ritual. Get a cup of water to rinse. You brush your teeth, pour the water over the toothbrush with the toothpaste. We just made it work, right? So now let's get to how I flush the toilet, right? Because when you in a house with no running water, if you don't have pressure to push the contents of the toilet, we just gonna keep this clean, y'all already know, to push the contents of the toilet down, the toilet water down, it won't flush. Now, systematically, the sewer is in a downward motion. Unless, I don't know about, what do they call it, septic tank? I don't know about septic tank, but I know as far as the toilet being on an incline, if you pour enough water into the toilet, it will flush the toilet, right? So that's what I did. So I'm just gonna tell y'all, this might be TMI for y'all, but remember, going back, I said I brought gloves and I brought diapers. So what I would do is, now I'm just gonna tell y'all about me. If I went to use the bathroom and it was number 2. Okay, it is what it is. I gotta relieve myself. We all do, right? So I would take the bleach and pour the bleach directly in the toilet with whatever was in the toilet, directly in the toilet. Tissue, everything, right? So then with the gloves on, I would scoop out the toilet, put it in a diaper, put it in a bag, tie it up just like you would do a baby's dirty diaper. Tie it up, and at that point, I would take the water and flush the toilet with the water. You know, and it will go straight down, spray the bleach, wipe the toilet, do all of that, even though the toilet was already clean because, what? I'm a bleach girl. So that's how I flush the toilet. So, you know, and with the mopping, I did every single thing in my house with no running water. You know, was I going back and forth with this young lady? Did she have a right to say something because this is her house and she's the one paying the water bill? Yes. And let me say, I did offer her some money. She didn't want any money, but I did give my friend Sherelle some money. I'm like, Sherelle, just in case. Girl, I was about to say her name. Don't you say her name. I'm not going to say her name. The lady who lived upstairs, I'm not going to say her name. But I gave Sherelle some money. I said, Sherelle, if this lady come to you and say you owe her X amount of dollars because her water bill increased, this is for her. Now, whether my friend gave it to her or not, I'm going to say probably not. You know what I'm saying? But I did offer her something because I noticed this lady water bill was going up because I'm using water. And I used to go over her house to get water. Because remember I told y'all my water was off for 2 months. So I would go over her house maybe every other day and fill up my jugs. And by this time, I don't know how many jugs I had. Probably 10, 12 jugs. And every day I would just fill it up because I knew I had to cook. I know I had to wash dishes. I know I had to keep my house clean. I know I had to flush the toilet. The cooking, washing dishes, flushing toilet, and baths, and washing up. So yeah, I was using a lot of water, and I was using that lady water. So, and I don't know how much it was. I think it might have been $40. I would give her $40 for her to use. And I think I gave Sherelle that twice, you know, for both months, for the fluctuation of her water bill, you know, because what's right is right. You know what I mean? And I knew I needed that lady. I didn't need that lady to call the police. I didn't need that lady to just get so big. So I don't know. My friend Sherelle might have gave it to her. She never told me if she did or not. So anyway, that is how I maintain a house with no running water. You know, for me, I have to do whatever it is I have to do to maintain. You know, living here, even with the kids and with the situation with my water off, with my gas off, with my gas off, it just is what it is, and it was what it was. I was hoping, because since I've had the kids, my lights have been off. My lights were off for maybe an hour. You know, they turned the lights off. I paid the bill. They turned the lights right back on. So the kids never seen the effects of that, but they did see the effects of no gas. You know, it wasn't. Now let me say this. I was debating on getting that gas turned back on. I'm going to tell you the truth. Ma'am, when I tell you it wasn't no piles of pots and pans and dishes, because the kids, girl, they will come in here and cook, do what they do, and go on right back out. Ain't thought about washing no dish. Ain't thought about cleaning no grease off no stove. So, baby, when that gas was off, I was in my glory. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I was, girl. Lauren said she was in the shower, and I told Lauren to go take a shower. So Lauren was in the shower. Lauren knew the gas was off. Like I said, they don't know anything about your utilities being off, right? So Lauren said she was in the shower, because I was wondering, because now I did go and take a cold shower. Now I made sure they had hot water. I made sure, you know, I washed KK up. I made sure Lauren had water to hit the hot spots and Terrence. But now me, I'm an OG. I ain't new to this, baby. I'm true to this. I tell y'all all the time, I grew up on Good Times. I was Thelma, My older brother was JJ and my youngest brother was Michael. We grew up on Good Times, so we know what it is, right? Girl, let's lather that rag up. Girl, I be looking like a whole marshmallow in the tub, all completely white, hit up under my arms, everything, right? Girl, and it's like double dutch. Okay, come on. We got to get to the stove off. And I would jump in the hot water, and I'm telling you, I mean in the cold water, and like once I was in there and swinging and got to like, woo. Once that was over, baby, I didn't even want to get out that water because your body actually gets acclimated to it. You know what I mean? And then it's summertime. So it's hot and my hot flashes, yeah, I was enjoying that gas being off. So that's just a story time of how little old me ain't had no water. I had to go to the neighbors and flush that toilet. Baby, I made it work. I made it work. When I tell you, my mom just instilled so many things in her children to where if the struggle do come, baby, you got it. Baby, you got it. You might not want to endure it, but you got it. And you got it with your head held high. You got it. Don't fold. You know, I remember, you know, because like I'm from Buffalo where it's snow country, so we have blizzard. Baby, I can remember eating nothing but potatoes and box macaroni and cheese for like 3-4 days straight. Like that's all you had was potatoes and macaroni and cheese. Box. That's why I don't eat box macaroni and cheese till today. I'll eat it, but it has to be like the Velveeta. I don't like, it could be any kind really, but I don't like that powder. Like you do the noodle, put the milk in and you put that powder in. I don't like that powder. We ate so much of it as a kid. Now we ate hella potatoes. Baby, I don't think there's anything in this world that could make me not like potatoes. Baby, I love me some potatoes. I don't care how you cook it. You could boil it, fry it, bake it. I don't care. I love me some potatoes. So anyway, ladies, that's it. Just know, like, if you're going through this right now, if you're going through with your lights, your gas, your water, I'm not talking about cable. That's like a bonus, right? But if you're going through your utilities being off, just hold on. I promise you, trouble do not last always. You will get your utilities back on. You will look back on this moment in time and you will say, I made it through. And not to say that you deserve that or you even wanted that. Like, when you get your utilities turned off, it's not like, oh, I'm going to the club. I'm going to, you know, get my lace front done. And I ain't worried about the light bill. They turn it off, they just turn it off. I'm going over to my mama's or the Pookie house. Most people, when their utilities are off, they're in a hardship situation. They're in a crisis to where they just don't have it. And I'm telling you, when my lights, my gas got turned off, I had it, but that was all I had. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with my daughter getting out, I spent money that I really didn't have. You know what I mean? She was out. I wanted to treat her. I wanted to do stuff for her. I wanted to definitely go pick her up. So I pushed myself against the limit, and I had been playing catch up that whole month of August. You know what I mean? I'm playing catch up. But it is what it is, baby. I don't apologize. I don't care what nobody got to say. That's my baby. And baby, when she got out, oh, I was going to be there. I was going to be there to get my baby out. I don't care what I had to do. Might have to do something strange for a little piece of change. Let me see if Sarah across the street. You know what I'm saying? But no, I haven't sold anything. Look, we don't do that anymore. Look, tell y'all all my personal business. I love you, ladies. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And sis, I'm going to tell you, if you're going through right now It's okay. I'm here to let you know, still give God the praise, because he will see you through this. Just think back on the last time you was in something. Just think back to when something didn't work out and he got you through. Yep, he the same God. All right, ladies, I love you all. Bye.
30 degrees, way to go, so call me back. Will I see you at the show tonight? Will I see you at the show tonight? Hey. Truck to the